What inspired me to write this book for the Upward Spiral to Sobriety is a compilation from my personal life as well as my professional life. My father was a heroin addict, overdosed when I was 17. My brother also had addiction problems, overdosed when he was 46. Kind of led me into the field of mental health. My first job out of college was working for drug rehab, and then I went and got my master's. Worked in the field of foster care as a licensed therapist after that for about 30 years, and then decided to switch gears and moved back into working with drug rehab and working with military veterans. It was kind of interesting to me. It was just do the AA program, do your steps, don't drink. So I've always felt like that was a very challenging modality for drug rehab anyhow. And as I was teaching classes to the veterans, and I kind of just realized that there was these aha moments that they would have. And as I looked back on my own life, I realized I also had aha moments. And they are all kind of around I am statements, positive mantras. And so that's where kind of the whole idea came from, was developing these positive I am statements that people could practice and replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So we're not just doing don't drink, we're changing your life so you no longer need the addiction in your life. This book is about changing your identity, your blueprint, and changing it from this negative perspective about yourself to a positive perspective about yourself. Because when you change your identity, you no longer need the addiction. You no longer need that as your coping mechanism for life and how to deal with the challenges of life. And so that's kind of what inspired this, was just to do something different versus avoiding. Let's look at this as something positive. We're positively changing our life in the right direction. I chose the phrase upward spiral instead of just choosing on relapse and recovery alone, because it gives you a whole different perspective of what recovery can be. And with that, I'd like to read a little excerpt from the back of the book. Rather than focusing solely on what must be avoided, this book emphasizes what can be created. New thought patterns, empowered identity statements, and daily practices that reshape the brain's response to stress, cravings, and emotional triggers. By combining inspirational mantras with clinically grounded behavioral strategies, readers learn how to move from relapse cycles towards upward momentum. What it means to rewire our neural pathways in everyday life is, and this is where I'm going to use one of my most favorite mantras, our brains are like Velcro for negativity and Teflon for positivity. So our human propensity for every human being is that our brains love to stick on the negative, and the positivity just loves to just slide right out of our brains. And most of us have to work really hard at keeping the positivity stuck in our brain. And so when we focus on the negative part of our life, our brain starts to wire its neural habits or synapses in that direction. And when you repeat that, it creates like a rut in our brain. And so to rewire that, we have to even focus harder on the positive things in our life so we can stick that in our brain, because we want to create a positive neural pathway in our brain. And this is how we create our upward spiral, is by focusing and reworking this positive track in our brain. So it naturally goes there more than it goes towards the negative side of our brain. I had one particular story of a man who had come to the rehab. He was very engaged in writing down his coping skill cards. He was in the program a couple of weeks. He decided to leave, and he left kind of very hastily. He left all of his clothing behind, all of his workbooks, but I saw him with his coping skills in his hand, and I was like, this is something that is tangible for them, that they know they can take away, that they can practice, that will hopefully keep them in their sobriety and keep them recovered and keep them in their upward spiral. This book is for a wide variety of individuals, as well as professionals, as well as drug rehabilitation centers. I believe it's something different. It's a different niche. It really brings something simple and concrete and tangible to people with addiction issues. It's not overwhelming them with information. It's like, here it is, practice this I am statement. This is what's going to change your identity, and this is what ultimately is going to lead you to recovery. The one principle that I would like readers to take away from this book is we are what we think. And in the infamous words of Wayne Dyer, we are what we think. So it sounds so easy to just take this negative perspective of what we think about ourselves into a positive perspective. But as this book helps you, focus on changing those negative thoughts to your positive thoughts. It's very direct, and it's through practice and repetition over a long period of time. And this is how we change the way we think from this negative spiral to an upward spiral.